The Smash roster is one of my favourite parts of the entire Smash series, with the inclusions of new fighters every installment. Never knowing who's going to make it into Smash 6, some fighters don't make it in, either being deconfirmed from Mii costumes, assist trophies, or other fighters from a third-party developer taking the spot, as well as a few other reasons. Welcome to A New Foe Has Appeared, where we talk about ideas for fighters that could possibly happen in Smash 6, if not the future. I'm your host BB8 from BB8's House. As always, let's get into it. Up next. That's right. Epic Mickey from, of course, Epic Mickey is who we are going to talk about today. I didn't originally intend on doing this character, but this was a suggestion from Xavier Cardona, like I said in A New Foe Has Appeared Octoling. I originally had the rule that I was only going to talk about characters from video games, but by the looks of things, I might have to take the benefit of the doubt this time, just for this one. And with Epic Mickey being a joke character, of course, because he doesn't originate from a game, but his moveset will heavily be inspired from Epic Mickey, as well as his design. And without further ado, let's get into it, shall we? So for the moveset, it was not easy coming up with a moveset for this character. I had to do a whole bunch of looking into in order to achieve it. And I thought it would be settling if I just used his moves from the Epic Mickey game and not the cartoons, with the only exception here being the final smash being inspired by the 1940s movie Fantasia. So his neutral special would be called Magic Paintbrush. The Magic Paintbrush move will kind of act similarly to Inkling's Ink Brush move. Press B to charge your paintbrush attack, and the longer you charge, the more that the enemies will be covered in blue paint, which will make them weaker. The side special being Paintbrush Beam. Paintbrush Beam would be similar to the Aero Spray from the Splatoon series in a way, allowing Epic Mickey to use his side special to cast paint in all 360 degrees, similar to how Epic Mickey uses his paintbrush in Epic Mickey 2. The damage is not that great when you're using regular paint, but when you're using thinner, it should be stronger. But when you charge it for long enough, it should start to feel the damage coming in, and you can use the Paintbrush Beam move for a maximum of 8 seconds. For his up special, I went with Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. Just to give Oswald a bit of use outside of the taunts, I thought, why not use Oswald as the up special instead of having the paintbrush involved. Epic Mickey calls out Oswald for help, and he grabs the foot of Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. Oswald uses his ears to fly upwards rapidly, which only takes about 1.5 to 3 seconds, depending if you aim for the ledge or you go higher. But this move can deal an alright amount of damage due to the electric remote that Oswald is holding. and once the 1.5 to 3 seconds is up, Oswald will disappear and Mickey will enter a free-falling state. For the dance special being Paint Swap is where Epic Mickey is allowed to swap between different types of substance that Epic Mickey can use with his paintbrush. The thinner is like the evil substance from the game, which deals incredible damage when used due to the malicious effect the thinner has in the games. Swapping to thinner will unleash Mickey's dark side, and the paint will be the heroic substance that doesn't really deal the best damage when used. And like I just said, for the final smash, we have Fantasia. A final smash for Epic Mickey was really difficult to come up with, so I did a bit of looking into for Epic Mickey, and I thought, taking inspiration from the 1940s Fantasia movie would spice things up for him. And once players get caught in the final smash, Mickey reaches out and reveals the sorcerer's hat and places it on his head. And he does a bright flash that occurs as it fades, and Mickey jumps back towards the stage where a towering outcrop has risen from the stage. Mickey stands atop of it now, and his costume reflects his appearance in The Sorcerer's Apprentice. Using the control stick, players can guide Mickey's attention and then also press B, guiding Mickey's attention. Then pressing B will cause Mickey to hop around, gesturing wildly, causing a massive shooting stars to appear and travel wildly in the direction of the player character that has focused Mickey's attention on. Pressing A will cause Mickey to face the screen and throw both arms up, and magical waves will appear at either side of the stage and rush everything towards the outcropping, causing anything that strikes the rocky formation to fly in the air. And for Mickey's powerful magic, eventually the final smash will end and the screen will fade to white, and around as if conducting an imaginary orchestra, he wakes up suddenly, giving an embarrassed chuckle before re-entering the fighting stance. And the damage from the shooting stars will be 12 to 20%, and the damage from the waves will be 5 to 15% average. For the alts and the Kirby Hat, Epic Mickey's alts, apart from his last alt, will just be standard recolors of his overalls. So his overalls will be red for his regular alt, and going all the way from orange, yellow, green, blue, purple and pink, his final alt being alt 8, will take the outfit of Steamboat Willie. This alt won't talk, unlike the rest of his alts, in order to stay true to the 1930s cartoons. And the skin will be cel shaded to give it more of a cartoony look, similar to how we have had Toon Meowscles in Fortnite. And for the Kirby Hat, Kirby will get the iconic Mickey Mouse ears and the paintbrush copy ability. For the classic mode route, I went with Mascot Smash. Yes, sounds like a terrible name, but in Epic Mickey's classic mode route, you will face off against the mascots of gaming. And since Mickey is pretty much a mascot himself of Disney. That's why I went with Mascot Smash. So for round 1, we have Mario on the Mushroom Kingdom NES stage, Pikachu on the Saffron City stage, Sonic on the Green Hill Zone stage, Pac-Man on the Pac-Maze stage, Crash, who I talked about in the new Foes Appeared 5, on the Insanity Island stage, round 6 being Master Chief, who I talked about in the new Foes Appeared 50 on the Halo stage, and for the final round being Master Hand and Crazy Hand. For the victory theme, the poses, and the Punch-Out title, the victory theme will just be the Walt Disney Pictures jingle that you'd hear in the intro to every modern Disney film pretty much. Victory pose number 1 is where Epic Mickey wields his brush and says, haha, haha, haha. Not like Banjo, but yeah, my voice is not high, so I couldn't do that. And he says, that was awesome. And victory pose 2 is where Epic Mickey bounces on his tail like he does in Mickey Mouse Clubhouse and says, see you real soon. Victory pose 3 is where Epic Mickey turns black and white and sails off on Steamboat Willie. His defeat pose would be Mickey Mouse just clapping for the winner, and the Punch-Out title being the Sorcerer's Apprentice. For the Amiibo, I don't think Epic Mickey would end up getting an Amiibo at all due to the legal issues that they had to get Sora in the game. So I don't think Sora's gonna get an Amiibo either due to legal reasons. But if he did, Epic Mickey's Smash render would have him in the pose similar to Pirate and Mithra whilst wielding his brush and having parts of him chipping away like paint, similar to his box art counterpart from the games. And his Amiibo would end up having some parts of him chipping away missing due to there not being a support underneath in order to support that. And the compatible games would be Super Smash Bros, where you can tap in Epic Mickey to summon a fighter you can train, Kingdom Hearts 4, if it does make it to Nintendo Switch, the support would be unknown, and the Amiibo would be compatible in other games as well. There isn't really that much an Epic Mickey Amiibo would be compatible with, only because of how much legal stuff they would have to go through to get all of that stuff in. But I do think in any Disney-based game would be compatible with this Amiibo. The stage would end up being Steamboat Willie from Epic Mickey that originally released in 2010. Steamboat Willie, the stage, would be based on the 1928 cartoon based on the same name. This stage in Smash will be cel shaded, unlike its Epic Mickey counterpart, to look like an old cartoon. And this stage doesn't originate from Epic Mickey, but I do think Steamboat Willie does actually sound like a cool stage, so, and I do think with the cel shading being a unique element to it, it is a stage I would possibly see in a potential Disney Smash clone if they were to make one. And there would be scenes from the short playing in the background, and the stage would end up taking elements from its Epic Mickey counterpart as well, with the cel shading to make it feel like the cartoon. For the music, like, the part of this video with the music and the spirits was quite a difficult one, only because I couldn't think of any characters that actually originated from the game, unlike everyone else who didn't originate from the game at all. So for the music, I went with Steamboat Willie being its original form from the Steamboat Willie short. Number 2 being Mickey Mouse March from, of course, Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, the remix version. Number 3 being The Sorcerer's Apprentice from Fantasia, the remix. Number 4 being It's a Small World from Fantasyland, the original. When You Wish Upon a Star from Pinocchio, not the awful remake that just came out, but from the original in its remixed form. And Oswald's theme from Epic Mickey being the original, and the Disney medley being in its remixed form. For the spirits for Epic Mickey would end up taking their designs from the 1930s cartoons or their original appearances, not their modern designs. So the spirits would end up being Mickey taking his design from Epic Mickey, Fantasia being the legendary spirit, Minnie Mouse, Pluto, Pete, Donald, Goofy, Oswald the Lucky Rabbit taking his design from Epic Mickey, Horace the Horse Collar, Clarabelle the Cow, Daisy Duck, Huey, Dewey and Louie, Chip and Dale, More Time of the Mouse, Clara Cluck, Phantom Blot, Yen Sid, Hortensia, Scrooge McDuck, and the Partners statue. And finally, for the reveal trailer. The reveal trailer would start in Peach's castle as Mario jumps for a painting. You then see a close-up of a painting with the sorcerer's hat on it. Mario then falls into a corridor that looks like a room from a wizard's tower. Mario then looks around the room to see a cauldron just standing there. Mario then spots a trail of paint on the floor. He follows it and it takes him to the exact same spot that was taken to us earlier. You then see a famous pair of yellow shoes in a close-up. Mario then gets covered in paint and the figure in the yellow shoes is revealed to be Epic Mickey makes his epic entrance, as Epic Mickey then traps Mario in the room as he then coats Mario in thinner and the gameplay shows, and once the gameplay is over, it shows the Mushroom Kingdom colliding with the Magic Kingdom as Mario and Mickey shake hands and become allies. A 1930s style filter applies and the screen fades to white and splashes Super Smash Bros. Times Epic Mickey. So guys, what did you think of this episode of A New Foes Appeared? I know Epic Mickey will never get in Smash before anyone comments, but this does sound more like a character I would either talk about on April Fool's Day or a character from if Disney were to potentially make a Smash clone of their own, similar to Multiverses and Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl. But at the end of the day, due to legal issues and Epic Mickey not originating from a video game, it is safe to say that this character will never be in Smash. But it was a cool suggestion though from Xavier Cardona. And it will be rare that I talk about non-video game characters in A New Foe Has Appeared, since I did say in a comment with Xavier Cardona that the user who did end up suggesting Epic Mickey to me, I did mention in a comment to him that I have considered doing Goku from Dragon Ball and Naruto from, of course, Naruto in a future episode of A New Foe Has Appeared. But A New Foe Has Appeared is for fighters from video games, not from fourth party. So this is like the first fourth party character I brought up in A New Foe Has Appeared, but it's not going to happen often, I promise. So don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like this video, and turn your notification bell on so you don't miss another New Foe Has Appeared episode like this one. And the next one is to tie in with Sonic Frontiers. So I will see you all in a future episode of A New Foe Has Appeared. BB8 out.